Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Don and I'm going to be reviewing and reading through Youngblood number 71 from 2012. I believe this is the debut of John Maylin's run on the title. And this is his cover, so let's get to it. Okay, so we got Youngblood number 71. On the cover here we have Die Hard. We have I can't remember the name of the chick with the green flame for hair. Cougar, Vogue, the new Shaft, and Bad Rock in the background. And I believe this cover was done by Mr. Liefeld himself. And we got this secondary cover. I'm not entirely sure. I think John did this cover. So, okay, we got the credits page. John McLaughlin did the story. John Maylin, Rob Liefeld art. And I think Rob did the breakdowns. And I think Maylin did the finished art. If you guys know differently, tell me in the comments so I can get that right. Ross Hughes, Matt Yackey on the colors. Russ Wooten on the letters. Eric Stevenson on the edits. Okay, so right away I can see I was wrong. Rob Liefeld and Matt Yackey did cover A, and Ryan Otley, believe it or not, and Jordan Belair did this cover here. And I'm a fan of Ryan Otley's artwork, but this is early days. Ryan Otley. This doesn't even look like anything that he did later on in Invincible. So this got to be early days. And cover C, which I don't have, is done by cartoonist Chris Giarrusso, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, this is Youngblood 71 from May 2012, published by Image Comics. Youngblood is, as we know, created by Rob Liefeld. Page 1, Rob Liefeld presents Youngblood, the most extreme fighting team of all time. The title of this issue is Ride Along. And we have the team in mirror kind of shot here, and I guess this is the representative or somebody. Anyway, the guy saying, I called you here, Youngblood, because there's something I must say. Special Agent Jason Carpenter studies his young chargers and wonders why he originally resisted the idea of a government super team. Now, if memory serves, the original premise of Youngblood when it was first published was that Youngblood was going to be a government-sponsored super team, like influencers are today. They would be popular on social media, which wasn't around back then. I think Youngblood debuted in, what was it, 97, 98 maybe? I don't know. My years might be a little bit off on that. Anyway. The government agent continues, I am proud to be your handler. Fungi, the living plague, was a formidable foe, but you still managed to eradicate it, and we got an asterisk, which is an editorial note. Remind us to tell you about it sometime, says Rascally Rob. Now, on to the future. With all due respect, Agent Carpenter, whatever future you have in mind will not include Golden Stream. And right away, that is a terrible name for a superhero. I don't understand, Stream. You agreed to join Youngblood. I agreed to help you against fungi. That experience was quite enough, he says. I have no interest in being a government flunky. Does anyone else agree with Golden Stream? Cougar, Die Hard. And Die Hard says, I have always believed that serving this country is an honor and privilege, sir. Vogue continues, I agree with Die Hard. We have only been together a few days. I am intrigued enough to stay for a while. And I don't remember the name of this guy that wears the bandana. He says, no better way to study humans have I. Okay. Suit yourselves, you idealistic fools, says Golden Stream. He takes off. Just don't dare call me the next time you need help. Now, a little bit of talking about Maylin's art. Now, again, I believe this is all broke down by Liefeld, so I don't think Maylin had much to do with the storytelling on this issue. I've already went and I've read through his run quickly. I think it's 71 through 78. Now, These are early days, Malin. And he does have the chops, okay? There's no denying that. Everything's very loose. I think he's still trying to find his way, still trying to find his style. As he progresses on, and you will see it as I continue on with the series, he gets progressively better at a pretty good clip. I think it's by 73. He's got his style down 100%. So you will see it as I continue on with the series in the coming days. Here we got a woman. Now, Malin's always been pretty good drawing the hot chicks with the gams and everything. She's a little lanky. Yeah, fingers are a little odd. But like I said, these are early days. This is early days Malin. And, you know, he's demonstrating already that he's got the chops. So, I mean, you can't deny it. You just can't deny it. Say what you will about the man. But he definitely has what it takes to be in the field of comics. The female saying, she's thinking rather, can't believe people actually get paid to create this crap, comic books, DVDs, and action figures. Obviously a boy thing. And she's looking at a Youngblood comic. And she's continuing on with the thought process. Youngblood fits in somewhere between the Kardashians and Snooki on the scale of cultural importance. So why is entertainment now suddenly so interested in him? Guy comes in and says, Gail, good of you to come in on such short notice. I'm so glad you called Mr. Pierce. She says, we go back far enough for you to call me Franklin. I really don't have any nitpicking here. Decent amount of background where you need it. The perspective's a little off on the second panel. Just a teeny bit. Like I said, early days Malin. I am by no means hating on any of the creators when I read or review these comics. I'm a huge fan of Malin, a huge fan of Liefeld. It's just, you know, I'm just trying to make content for the channel, and as an artist and fellow creator, you just try to, you see things, you point them out. Yeah, without trying to be a dickhead about it, I guess. Nice drop down shot here. I think they call this the bird's eye view. Assuming in the office. Franklin, the female, says, Gail, I want to thank you for giving me another chance after ... Well, you know, he says, water under the bridge as far as I'm concerned. We've all suffered setbacks. Let's focus on the present. What do you know about Youngblood? She says, just the basics, really. They're a team of superheroes who are sanctioned and overseen by the government. The current roster consists of Die Hard, Vogue, Cougar, Photon, that's the one, and the new guy who replaced Shaft. I believe they're also considered a long-running joke by legitimate superheroes like Supreme. I know I messed up, Franklin, but seriously, Youngblood? Are you trying to punish me or merely humiliate me with such a lame assignment? And right away, I want to point out here at the bottom panel, this chick looks like she's bored, like she's fed up. And that is good acting on a panel by the artist. Again, early days Malin, already showing he's got what it takes. Next page. Nice pose of the chick coming in the doorway. Just kind of standing there, hand on her hip. The only goal is to rehabilitate Youngblood's image. Your career, personal feelings, and cheerful attitude were never even discussed. She goes, Gail Cook, this is your handler. Don't be swayed by first impressions. Handler. I guess that's her actual name. You came to us because the public has turned against Youngblood. They're the only group that scores a lower favorability rating than Congress. Gail's a consummate professional and damn fine writer. If anyone can increase your team's popularity or at least stop the bleeding, you're looking at her. You came highly recommended, Mr. Pierce. I'll trust your opinion for now. And we got a nice touch angle down here at the bottom inset with me, Miss Cook. So, again, really no complaints. I'm kind of digging the layouts. Background back there behind the guy in the office from the window. Stogie's a bit too big, and the hands need a little bit of work. But again, I got to keep pointing out and saying it. Early days Malin. For a guy who is just getting going, this is pretty damn good. Washington, D.C., some good-looking cars here. Badam. With scenes like this, I've always thought stuff like this looks a little too clean. Like, when I illustrate scenes outside, there's environmentals, there's dust, grit, stuff like that. Malin's done an adequate job here. You got some cracks in the sidewalk and stuff like that. But because this is a bigger panel, maybe a little bit more detail in the cars. I don't know if he did any research drawing these cars. Could be a little bit better. They look a little I guess you could say. But all in all, it ain't terrible. Maybe a few speed lines coming off the actual vehicles themselves would help out a little bit. Maybe throw some litter blowing around in the breeze or something. But, it ain't terrible. Continuing on. Oh, no, the windshield hit the brakes. We're traveling blind. Correct. Guy comes out there as the other guy behind him crashes into a lamppost. We lost him, man. Turn at the next corner. Screech. No way those cops will catch us now. So they're going around there. These guys are running from the cops. Not a terrible angle. And again, props to Malin. He actually put trash in the dumpster. That's pretty good stuff. A little bit of litter there, as you can see. Not bad. So this is Photon coming around the corner here. A little bit more detail could have been present in the face. But again, you got to realize this is before I think he was working digitally. So he's working on 11 to 17 boards and all this is like small in scale. So it ain't bad. This is Photon saying suspect spotted, awaiting backup. The guy in the car. I pick up the highway on the other end of the alley and we're home free. Crooks are in the back. Ain't nothing free about this haul. There's got to be 700 G's easy. Oh, no, behind us. What is it? More cops? No way they're stopping us. Getting away. The guy comes out there. He's got his gun ready. Gonna F these dudes up. And then we got Cougar here in the panel, in the mirror. I like that. Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear. Kind of a riff off the Jurassic Park meme. I only wish it was cops. Next page, we got Cougar. This looks like Liefeld drew this. This does not look like Malin's art. So maybe we're getting into some Liefeld art here. Thunk, what the? Wait, what? How did? No one could run that fast. It's impossible. Honey Cougar doesn't care if it's impossible. Roar. Aye. Thanks for the gun, stupid. And yes, I'm referencing the most popular viral video in America today. Check it out on www.youtube.com. I don't know what that is in context to. If you know, leave a comment, let me know. You're plugging a website for real? Corporate sponsors pay our bills, buddy, and look out. I'm assuming that's the Washington Monument in the background. No way it's him. Don't stop. Run him down. I'm not braking. It's like the car just died. And this is all Liefeld art here. I guess that Dutch angle is okay. I don't know. We got Die Hard looking into the windshield. That was me, gentlemen. I used my onboard computers to commandeer your car's electrical circuits. Your reckless driving certainly presented a public safety hazard. Up close shot of Die Hard. Now I'm going to ask you to step outside of the car. He generates his, I guess that's a plasma shield. Too late, smashes into it. Cougar and Die Hard, what could possibly go wrong? Preserve. So yes, this is DC. Now I think we're back to Malin. Could have done a little bit better on the Capitol building there. I mean, you can tell what it is. So it ain't terrible. Could have done a little bit better with it, though. Same thing with the Washington Monument in the next one. That's a little effed up, but hey, again, not too bad on the Lincoln Memorial. You and I are free to explore the wonders of this beautiful city. We can climb to the heights of the great monuments, enter the darkest recesses of its many museums, or immerse ourselves in the raw sensuality of our surroundings. And now we see that this is Vogue, who's talking all this smack. How do you want to spend the day? I am open to suggestion, any suggestion. So her proportions are a little off. Malin's trying real hard to go for the sexy shot. I don't think her ass would twist quite that way. Her midsection is a little elongated. The arms are a little long. But it's not terrible. I like the panel breakage of her head there. Again, early days Malin. It's kind of hard to be overly critical knowing that this is like, I think, his first run at a comic book series. It's still not that bad. We got the new Shaft up here. He said, here's one to get your bony ass out of my face, Vogue, and stop posing like a penthouse centerfold. Okay. So he was playing into the story there. What's the matter, handsome? She says, afraid you won't measure up to your predecessor. Unlike the original Shaft, he says, I'm married, and married men never cheat. And then, showing the sexiness of her breasts. And she's speaking to him. Not bad, not bad. Enough. I'm tired of your nonsense, he says, slamming into the desk. I didn't ask to be here. I was assigned to this job when Jeff Terrell resigned. For those of you that don't know, Jeff Terrell is the birth name of the original Shaft. I'm sick of you and the rest of this stupid team. Speaking of them, where are they? They should have returned by now. If they don't walk in that door within the next 5 minutes, I'll file a stern report with my superiors. Another report. Horrors. Now shush. I'm sexting. How do you spell uvula? Art's not terrible. I can dig it. You can see that Malin is having some trouble with hands, but who among us doesn't? So the team shows up. Please note the exact time of our arrival, son. As we're paid by the hour, we need to have accurate time cards. How's it going, not Shaft? And we got Photon with the flaming head. Colorist did a pretty good job on all this. Great, just great, says Shaft. Glad to hear it. A happy leader is a happy team. Never underestimate the importance of good morale. This is not that great writing. I saved your seat, Diehard, she says with a grin. On my lap. No disrespect intended, Vogue, but I prefer a chair. Lighten up, not Shaft. Or one big happy oops. I guess he hit an arrow going out of his little thing there. That's a grenade arrow, and it's headed back down. It's going to blow up. So he dives. That's a janky pose. Not the greatest. Find cover while, and then he looks up, and there's a chick standing there. Let's hope first impressions aren't as lasting as we've heard they are. Pretty good use of a Dutch angle here. We got Gail and Handler. She's saying, listen up, Youngblood. This is Gail Cook. She's a writer for Entertainment Now, and she's here to portray us as the professional super team. We're obviously not. Inset panel in the circle. Way to embarrass the team, not Shaft. Not bad. I apologize for my behavior, Miss Cook. Not necessary. If I'm going to show my readers a glance behind the curtain, I need you to be yourselves around me, words and all. Cougar's flirting with the Gale there. Perfect. The newly minted Shaft is practically one big wart with a bow and arrow. I hope his clumsiness won't give you the wrong impression of us. We got little hearts illustrating that he is flirting with her. I can't imagine that's impossible. And we got the Shaft in the background. Kind of got an attitude. Looks like Cougar kind of shoved him out of the way. I don't know if I would use 2 Dutch angles in a row like that, but hey, maybe the one on the panel on the left, I would just have that normal, and then do the Dutch angle where you have the stress and the action involved. Let me just say I plan to give you a fair shake. Gail says I came here with no preconceived notions, and then Cougar continues his flirting. Then please allow me to fill up your head, and then we have the klaxon going up. Arrgh! And then everybody's shocked. Vogue says, sounds like they're playing our song. Now we got the dynamic team shot of everybody running towards the reader. Shit's about to go down. Handler says the carrier now. Well, what's happening, says Gail. Time for us to save the world again. I assume you need to ride along with us. So he grabs her, jumps up, starts running across the wall. And I really hope you tell your readers how exciting it is to race along a wall. Another Dutch angle. Don't think we needed it down there at the bottom left. Cougar, you show off. Those repairs are so coming out of your paycheck. And then he's carrying her. Where are we? Oh my. Impressive, huh? My real only nitpick is you probably could have combined panel 2 and 3 together. Where she's taking the picture of him running with the phone. She could have been doing that in the background. And that could have gave the top panel more room to breathe. Because that's a very dynamic shot. And it could have made it a little bit bigger. A little bit more impactful. That's really my only nitpick on that one. And now we got what should have been a bigger panel because they were kind of leading up to it here. Impressive, huh? Page turn. And then you got the smaller panel of the jet. The jet should have been a little bit bigger, but hey. I can't blame Malin for that because I don't think he did the layouts. Unless he did, and then I blame him for it. But not really. Anyway, Cougar says, working for the government has its perks. We got technicians handling the jet. Now they're all inside. Diehard saying, buckle up, people. Our destination is a shopping mall in Northern Virginia. We're already 17 minutes behind the crisis. And then they launch out of I guess that's a hidden hangar in the middle of the Pentagon. And need to be there now. Now, there's a whole lot of lack of detail from around the environment here at the Pentagon. I really can't nitpick too much on that, but maybe some trees, a parking lot, something, a little bit more detail would have lent itself a little bit more to the panel, the artwork there would have been a little bit better. So now we're on the next page, several blocks away in a far less prestigious part of town. It is at the Youngblood carrier. Looking out a window, there's the jet stream where it's going down there. I gotta find my cell, snap a picture from my kid being a superhero, Defiance Cool, says this FBI agent. And that is Terrell, who used to be Shaft. And I guess he's looking at a dead body. He says, you'd be surprised, gentlemen. Bigger panel down here. How's about you two join me and concentrate on the murdered hand? Looking at the dead body. Dude's got claws, so obviously he's like a meta. Off the panel here, someone's saying, what's the problem, Terrell? What have you got against Youngblood? My real only nitpick is the angle's a little odd. Especially with the panel breakage and the absence of anything to the left there. And the tightness of the FBI jacket on Terrell is a little okay. We could have used some clothing folds, some drapery here because it is a jacket. It's loose fitting. I don't think it would be that tight. Same with the jeans. A lot of early days 90s artists they have this issue where they draw everything as a skin tight outfit. Even Jim Lee did it when he put regular pants on people. It is a thing I noticed. But again, you're getting the point across. It ain't terrible. Could be better. I think Malin would do a much better job now. Now we got Vogue. And I guess they're still in the jet. Just going, where were we? Oh, yes, I was obsessed with American culture as a young girl growing up in Russia. That's right. She used to be a Russian Olympian or a ballerina, I think. Fascinating, says Gail. Did you admire any particular artists? I guess she's doing her interview. I think that's a microphone. The hands are a little too big, but that's okay. The usual Pamela Anderson, Jenny McCarthy, and Paris Hilton. She's got an odd look on her face. The blonde does. Not quite sure what's going on with that. Now we got Photon looking out the window. There appears to be a riot below us, but the scene is most perplexing. And we have the scene down here as the jet flies over. That's an understatement, Lady Photon. Okay, but I don't have any problem with any of that. shaft. Die Hard, you should land the carrier and carefully assess the... And now they're out there, and Vogue's riding on top of Die Hard, and right away, that just doesn't look right. The angle is a little odd. She looks a little too big from that angle. Yeah, it just kind of looks off a little bit. Negative shaft says Die Hard, a more direct approach is needed when lives are at risk. She's saying hoo-ha. Die Hard looks pretty good. And you got Photon carrying Cougar. The only real issue is Vogue. She doesn't quite look right. Like I said, she should be a little smaller. Because she is behind Die Hard, who is in the foreground. And maybe lean her back a little more. Yeah, because she's like riding on his back. So yeah, just maybe and show like where she's gripping him with her hands, like on his shoulder, or on the upper part of his back or something. Maybe even have her holding on to the red hula hoop things that he always has on her. That would have been pretty cool. Next page, blast them all. You should have warned me before bailing out. You would think, says Gale, is it my imagination or does the rest of the team discount you? So he's screaming. They just think they're smarter because they've been doing it longer. I also think they miss Terrell, though they never admit it. And he's clearly pissed off by this. Then we got a womp. People go flying. Pretty good debris. Now we got Die Hard there, and he's saying, talk about chaos. All the assailants seem to resemble each other, but how is that even possible? I don't think I would go with this pose. His hands are hidden behind him. It looks a little odd. I think this is supposed to be representative that he just landed in this pose. But if he had landed in that pose, I don't think his legs would be spread quite that way. It's a little odd. Still looks pretty cool, but it still looks a little odd. Moving on. We got Photon flying in the sky. She's dropping Cougar. She's saying the situation's even more complex. Another Dutch angle. And then she got up close on her. Then you realize, Die Hard, I do not perceive reality with the same limited vision as humans. The green on this lettering bubble is really hard to read. It's not the greatest. I probably just would have went with a white balloon and made the text green. Bad design choice here. Anyway, continuing on with the story, it says she sees things at a molecular level. And looking at the girl, people appear to me as a series of colors, scents, and distinct bands of heat. Now, with that, drawing the female, probably would have been better to draw her like as infrared kind of looking thing, where like you see the heat, the temperature, that kind of stuff, not just like a green filter over the image. And then you see where she's like focusing her microscopic vision. We're seeing red blood cells, while the shoppers are separate individuals. And now she's getting even further down into the microscopics of it. Their attacks all share the exact same DNA. So, I mean, that's not DNA. I would have drawn actual strands of DNA, the double helix. But that's just nitpicking, man. That's, poor choice for storytelling. But the art is still pretty good. I mean, and you can already see, like, in just these last couple of pages from where he starts out, he's rapidly improving already. I mean, you got to give it up. Now we got a good action shot of the team. Die Hard, are you serious? Cougar's in the foreground. She is. My heightened senses confirm it. We're fighting clones. He's ripping them apart. You got little body parts going on everywhere. Again, nitpicking, guys, where he's slashing the appendages off. He's using claws, so this would not be such a clean cut. There would be more blood, I think. The skin would be torn. It would be more ragged. Again, just nitpicking, but it does, it would look a little bit more savage, and there should be blood coming off of his claws, and maybe some action lines showing the swiping, the slashing, maybe even like a onomatopoeia where he goes slash, something like that. Anyway, back in the jet shaft, we caught a break. Gail says, "How so?" Since they're clones, we don't have to pull our punches, he says. I know this is a little off topic, but I thought Photon was a guy, and now we're getting into the point of that. She was, but it's too complicated to go into it now. Why even bring that up then? Okay, so now we got the team bird's eye view from Photon. They're down there. They're looking in the store. Cougar says, "Terrific." They're fighting these clones. Next page, we got this weird effect here. It's almost like a red filter of sorts. I don't quite know what the hell's going on with that. The parking lot is a picnic area compared to the battle inside the mall. Talk about an identity crisis. Never thought I'd ever object to being surrounded by so many beautiful blondes. I guess this effect is supposed to call attention to Cougar? And this clearly is not something that Malin did, although he did draw, I'm assuming he drew the speed lines. And the colorist made an odd decision to make that red. That's just a bad call on the part of the colorist, and editorial should have picked up on that. Okay. And with the blonde, the second one from the right is stepping on that dude. Yeah, she's stabbing, his arm's a little jacked up, but, like early days. Now they're looking up at the mall. People running around. I guess those are all clones. I'm going to try to sniff out the original. Cougar says, "You do that, Cougar." And now I guess that was Die Hard talking. And now he's smashing one of the clones up against the window. He says, "Interesting. I would have put some shards of glass, just a little bit more, detail and stuff." These creatures appear to be fueled by rage and completely mindless. Now, all this could have been summed up in one panel, where he's throwing her up against the window, mirror, whatever. You could have combined all those words together, made this panel bigger to give it more of impactful presence, and show him with his hand on her neck snapping it. That should have all been one panel. You could have done this in 3 panels. It would have been a lot better. And hell, you could have just done 2. You could have combined the top 2 together too. Really. Next page, Cougar's jumping into it. Says, "I spotted the prime. I'm already closing in on her." And then he jumps down. "Don't even try to run, honey. Thank goodness you're here." She says, "I need your help and I'm desperate." This takes Cougar by surprise. "What?" She says, "My name is Fawn Nixon. I thought I could win the talent part of the pageant because I can clone myself." And I'm assuming that that's the silhouette of Cougar's claws coming out. Then she goes, "But everything went wrong. I lost control of the clones. They went totally berserk." Another Dutch angle. A little too extreme there. I don't think that was necessary. And now she's crying. "I don't know how to fix this." Those tears are crazy. A little too much tears, but okay. And now he's, for some reason, the choice was made to put half of his face in shadow. Maybe that's supposed to highlight the drama of it, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't make that choice. He says, "Relax, sweetie." And then he clocks into her. "I do." And then he smacks her, thwack. Okay. And now they got the inset where I guess the clones are falling apart or whatever. I guess because he took out the prime. I don't know. Then we got the news crew and Shaft and them are up there. Shaft's like, "Seriously?" He says, "You cold cocked a teenage girl in front of the press." And then Cougar's like, "Whatever, it worked, didn't it?" Now they're flying off. "We should celebrate. And I am anxious to experience sex in this new body," says Photon. And she's wrapped all around Cougar. Cougar's like, "Whoa, did you really have to remind me you used to be a man? This is very odd. Very odd. I don't even think this needs to be in the book, but whatever." Shaft is pointing at Die Hard. "You're the senior member of this team, Die Hard. It's up to you to set the example. If you won't give me the respect I deserve, why should the others? And Die Hard's like, yeah, good question. So Shaft, the new Shaft is kind of like a bitch. And I don't think he has a lot of confidence. Gail says, I hate to interrupt, but I have a question I was hoping someone could answer. Now we got close-ups of the team in these inset panels. Whatever happened to Badrock? Good question. And here we have Badrock. Looks like we're into the mountains and the countryside somewhere. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then we're going down. I guess this is the elevator shaft, which I'm assuming is in that barn that's in the first panel. And then suddenly we got this up-close shot of Badrock, who looks like he's getting worked on by these medical technicians. And he's got wires and operating lights, and he's effed up in the biggest way possible. And we have To Be Continued. And now we got a little spotlight here of Ryan Otley, who did cover B. He's saying, my favorite thing is new ideas, new characters, any genre, any medium. Ryan Otley, image, experience, creativity. And there you have it, guys. That is my read-through and slight critiquing of Youngblood number 71, which is the start of Malin's run on the book. It wasn't terrible. Not really. There were some storytelling choices I thought could have been better, but again, with storytelling, you get better with experience. So all in all, considering this is early days Malin, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Looking forward to issue 72 review, which I'll be doing in the next couple of days. I hope you enjoyed this quick video read through of Youngblood number 71. If you're new to the channel, give me a subscribe if you don't mind. I do stuff like this all the time, or I will be doing more and more stuff like this. Trying to put more content on the channel. We go live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with the bigwigs on the studio, where we draw independent characters and help promote indie campaigns and comics. We usually go for a few hours on that one. It's a pretty good time. Lots of fun. Give us a like, share the show out, and tune in next time where I'll be doing number 72 of Youngblood. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.